So thank you very much, you and Britt, for setting up the Bumble, the Bumble account to try to get me a
That you did
girlfriend. Well, so
you had hits. I would just say you had hits.
well, see, what I like to do is I like to use Twitter for picking up chicks and Bumble for arguments. I like to switch it up, I like to do it around the other way. No, I like to do things ass backwards, I once talked.
There was success there.
I once argued with Jenna Jameson on Twitter.
Oh, really?
About foreign policy. I just said to her, "Stick to sucking." You don't know what you're talking about. Genuinely, I argue with Jenna Jameson about that was the Trump strike on Soleimani in like 2019, 2020. Yeah.
And was this two separate incidences of arguments, or you just?
It's just an argument with Jenna Jameson, and she like responded to me or something.
Yeah.
So
it unleashed the fury.
Yeah. So it's
I can't believe you had an argument with Jenna Jameson.
Well, like I said,
Oh man, dude, that's that. Thank you for telling me that story. I just want to say thank you because I did not know that either.
Yeah, like I said, and then, well, really, like it's better for arguing. On Bumble's better for arguing, and Twitter's better for picking up chicks because you can meet someone you're aligned with on Twitter. Do you think these plant lights count as backlights?
We'll see how it turns out on footage, right?
So my cousin has a saying that as soon as someone has a backlit. They've been compromised.
Yes, I've seen that one. I have seen that one.
Have I told you that one?
Yeah.
Which I think is a great saying.
But did you see that American dude? Someone did a broadcast. Some American general, and he's got the face mask on. Yeah. And you can see the full gap
something's going on. Like, I mean,
look how old he is. Then they did some side-by-side comparison footage, and you're like, that dude's so old compared to Rubberface, who
really he should be older than what he looks.
Way older, man.
Right.
Like, way older.
Right. So, I mean, I'd see what happens oftentimes with these things is that everyone jumps on the one interpretation of the event, which could be correct. I'm not saying it's not correct, but I would look at that and say, well, there are multiple possible interpretations of that,
some dude wrote, I read in the comments, it was like he was wearing a green screen mask, so it's all green screen and you can just pop in his head, but he did not look his age.
Right.
Like, it was very,
and it was certainly unusual, but
what about fake Biden as well?
Right.
Remember fake Biden?
Yeah, I mean, he had the neck things all the time.
Yeah, but he was also taller Biden, and also well-spoken Biden.
So if we do resurrect the my dating account,
which I please do.
Then so
but we have to have genuine interest from you. Like, you have to commit.
No, I'm just doing it as a goof. So the profile quote that I want is, I once got 2 parking tickets in a day. Did somebody order a bad boy?
Yes.
Do you think that's a good one?
I think that's a good catchline.
Oh. All right. So the curse.
Yeah. Please tell me.
So the curse.
What happened? Yes. What is?
So have you ever had a curse placed on you?
That's an interesting question. I could say I think I might have had a curse.
In what circumstances?
An ex-girlfriend, mate.
Oh, she would have done voodoo or something in there. Right. Well, that kind of follows on from what we were just talking about.
I just felt like there was a crow following me for a very long time.
A crow following you? Wow, that sounds like a Native American curse or something.
I don't know. I just felt that there was something.
Crow following you? Fuck, man.
Watching me for.
Is that synonymous with a curse?
I don't know, but I don't know whether it was a curse, but I just.
Well, crows are intelligent, so either you were favored or you were in
trouble.
Yeah, you were in trouble.
I do not know, but I definitely. There was a time there for a bit where I was like, these crows are just looking at me all the time, and
right.
flying
Wow.
up and just going.
Had you seen like a Stephen King movie recently or something,
No,
or
I don't think so.
had a bad acid experience,
I don't
or
think so. It was
just had a bad girlfriend experience?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't necessarily a bad girlfriend experience. Yeah. Like, do you really want me to go into it?
Well, give me the synopsis. Like
Well,
what?
it just like she was Rooney. She was into the runes. And
Oh, this is your ex.
Yeah, this is one. Yeah, and she.
Was this like 10 years ago, 20 years ago? This is in Australia.
Yeah, this is in Australia.
Okay.
And yeah, so
In the ruins.
and
Okay.
yeah, and who knows? Like, I don't think she was witchy or anything like that, but it was just when we broke up. Then there was just always a crow
Wow.
just following me around. For quite a few
Dude,
years.
you never told me this.
Yeah,
This
no,
is
it's just a weird thing.
this is a good one. This is ammunition. This is fodder. This is a screenplay, bro.
Yeah, it
The
was-
crow was following you.
Yeah, it
Fuck.
was just every. I just.
My curse story doesn't sound so good now. Like,
No, you got to tell me your curse story now. I want to know your curse story. I don't think it was a curse. I think.
was there any more to it? Like, did anything bad happen to you? Or
No. I think maybe
the crow lost interest, or like he was like, this guy's just fucking having a good time.
There was just a lot of crows. I just noticed a lot
Hmm.
of crows after the breakup, and for a while after. I was like, "There's another fucking crow sitting on the fence, and just not far from you. You know what I mean? Just like, oh, another crow, another big black crow.
Wow.
Another big black crow."
That's interesting, man. I dig that storyline. I would like to explore that further. Yeah, that crow motif, that crow.
I always liked crows though, because I remember.
Well, they're intelligent.
Yes.
I never hear crows in Sydney. I never hear
You got to
them.
get into the suburbs. Once you get into the suburbs, you see them.
I saw something on Twitter today where if you don't overhear, your brain doesn't know you're in a city. If you don't overhear birds, it thinks there's a problem, because birds are, for thousands and thousands of years we've been attuned to bird sounds.
Yeah.
So if you don't hear birds, there's some kind of, I think I bookmarked it or whatever.
Well, we get birds here. Like, I get birds in the morning.
Right.
Yeah, I can hear them.
You
Like,
still got that child crying next door every morning at 3 a.m.?
I think it's been quiet for a bit.
Right.
Or unless we've just been songs because we were big on the beat. Like,
Yeah, that kid's been cursed, if anyone. So all right, so
yeah, please
so
inform me of your curse.
the curse. All right, so I'll try and give you the brief version. So
Okay, where did this curse happen?
so 2005 in Nara, the first capital of Japan, first permanent capital.
Yeah.
I had a very big night out with my very crazy Polish Canadian friend Conrad and some random French guy that he knew. And we went out all night and we were very intoxicated. And then we ended up at a Kofun, which is a ancient burial ground of an ancient emperor, right?
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. Well, it is cool, but being the crazy, like white colonial mentality people that we trespassed in the ancient burial ground. We were fucked up, man. It was like, 8 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m.
Drunken
And we
white society.
climbed the fence and went into the ancient Kofun. And when I was in there, I felt like I was in an Indiana Jones movie and a curse had been placed on me. I immediately felt it in my heart, right? And then, nothing has gone right in my life since then, more or less, This is why I don't do well on Bumble,
Okay,
and why I'm
yeah,
arguing with
what
Jenna,
did you-
arguing with Jenna Jameson on Twitter.
But hang on.
And she's getting more likes than me.
So you felt, but you honestly...
So I felt cursed,
something?
right? Yeah, because how disrespectful to enter a fucking ancient burial ground, And I also, I puked on a few trains. I said some inappropriate things there and there. I tried to be respectful, but occasionally the alcohol gets the better of me.
When the alcohol gets a bit of you. I know.
I mean, generally I was, I made a bunch of Japanese friends and whatever. I was very accepted and whatever. But no one is beyond reproach.
Well, see, yeah. So what you felt that energy, right? So it's funny you say this because what I relate to is what I keep on saying is the spirituality that we're sort of starting to encounter a bit more. When I walked into Westminster Abbey in London, the choir was singing.
Oh yeah,
And
is that beautiful?
As I walked in, man, it was like all the worries of your soul
Wow.
instantly vaporized with the sound of the choir walking into the Westminster Abbey. And that was a bit more of a significant realization, though, when I went, there is shit that we just do not understand. This is spiritual. Like, I can feel this spiritually just walking.
Wow.
Walking in and hearing it. Like, and I would visit there quite a bit.
Really?
Not a shit ton, but I would go down there every sort of three months.
Right.
Just
to get rid of your chlamydia or whatever.
just to walk in and feel the energy that's
right.
in there. It's spiritual. Like,
on another level. It's on another level.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a secondary force, you know, or a primary force.
It's outside the parameters of our conception.
Yeah, of what our conscious day-to-day existence. Yeah.
Like,
In Japan, the closest thing I've had to a religious experience, I guess, is I went to a Buddhist temple, and I just came across the statue of the Buddha just sort of in the back of the temple, and it was like a cross between a deja vu and a synesthesia. You know what a deja vu is?
Yeah.
And do you know what synesthesia is? Synesthesia is when your senses cross over. And I've only really ever had it once, which is when I eat really good Southern Indian food.
Yeah.
And I get like visions of something.
Oh, okay.
So like taste and sight for me are like combined.
Yeah, wow.
Aphex Twin gets it apparently.
Yeah, with music.
And he sees shit.
I've
Yeah.
read about
And this is only at the time, but it was like a cross between a deja vu and synesthesia. And I saw like a vision of like China or India or something, and people were toiling in like 1,000 years ago in the field or whatever. And I became aware that we're all part of a movement. We're all just part of a broader movement. And
like, we're all part of, like, like I said, coming down to, I think we've had this discussion before, I'm not sure, but reading articles on people that are dying, permanent death, like imminent death. People are terrified of dying, giving them a massive dose of mushrooms, and they're happy to die afterwards. You know what I mean?
Right. Like, they just accept it.
Well, one dude was explaining, he goes, I walked through a door and I saw my parents. And then I walked through a door and I saw my friends. Just every door I opened, I acquired another dead friend, relative, went back, and he goes, then I came back and he goes, I'm ready to walk through the next door.
Right.
He was like, yeah, I'm cool to go. Like, no fear whatsoever of dying. I think that's, with psychedelics, that's one of the, I think it's a key thing that we just haven't quite realized. That experience is, I'd love to give someone with dementia mushrooms.
So do you want to know how I lifted the curse?
Yes, please.
So the curse was placed on me, you know, rightfully so.
For crossing over.
Due to my terrible behaviour.
Yeah.
For crossing into the Kofu and the ancient burial ground. And then
How did you find out?
Well, it was like, how did I find out what?
You had the curse.
Well, I just knew. I felt it in my heart.
Yeah.
Like someone trespassing in Indiana Jones. I felt it straight in my heart. I didn't tell my...
So what sort of feeling was it? Like just
It's like an arrow through the heart. Ooh. And then, you know, I think maybe the curse was like the culmination of all my errant behavior as a youth, all my sins, all my negligence, all my stupidity, all my, you know, and it all manifested in that moment. And then, because the Japanese are very, you know, very generous and they'll take care of you, you know,
of course.
And so to repay them by trespassing is a terrible thing, you know. So nearly 20 years went past, right? And then I saw one of these walking videos on YouTube and it made me very nostalgic for Japan. I was like, I've got to go back to Japan.
Yeah.
So I went back to Japan, had a trip, extended trip to try to solve the curse, try to
So you were like, you felt like you were honestly cursed, and you went.
I've got to find a way, find a way to break the curse. You know.
Okay.
You know, so I can
So
have
you honestly felt like I'm cursed.
well, you know,
I'm
like no girlfriend, no kid, no house. Everything is difficult in my life. You know, I've got to find a way to move forward, right?
Yeah, okay.
So I went back and I looked, and I was polite, I was courteous, I was generous, I was, you know, when I got ripped off in the hostess bar in Kabukicho, I didn't kick up a fuss, you know.
My friend had the receipt.
I gave gifts. I took gifts to give to people who helped me. You know, whatever. And then I went back to my hometown towards the end of the trip. And first I went to Kyoto and I went to Ryoanji, which is my favorite temple. It's the rock garden. You ever seen the rock garden? I saw it on Burke's backyard.
Okay. No, I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen the rock garden? Oh, dude, it's beautiful, man.
Not a specific one. I've seen a few bits and pieces, but I've done also the onsen stuff. But yeah, no. So anyway,
Ryoanji. So at Ryoanji, it was a rainy day, so I took my umbrella.
Yeah.
And then while I was at the rock garden, which is my favorite temple, it was beautiful. You know, you look at the rocks and then you realize you're not looking at the rocks are looking at you, because they're going to be around a lot longer than you.
You're just
you're just the fucking. You're the fly on the fucking, you know.
They're the
dashboard.
fly on the wall, and you're just being watched.
So then I left the temple and I put my umbrella in the umbrella holder, and because it wasn't raining, I forgot to get my umbrella. And then 5-10 minutes later, I realized, I left my umbrella there. But it stopped raining. I was like, you know what? I'm going to be Buddhist about this. I'm just going to live in the moment and keep going. And you know what? For the next 2.5 weeks of my time in Japan, it didn't rain one drop.
Yeah.
And then I got on the plane and it was pouring rain as I got on the plane. So I was like, that's a sign. But so I went back. So I only had like 2 weeks left in Japan. And I went back to my hometown, Nara, where the curse was placed on me, right?
Yeah.
And I caught up.
How did you break it? Yeah.
Well, I caught up. This is the story, right? So I caught up with my Mongolian friend, right? And we met up at 4 p.m. Yeah, I have a very good Mongolian friend, right? He's a party animal. He's like 50. He's older than me, but he's a party animal, right? So I was trying to get in contact with him. I couldn't I was using the wrong Facebook account or something. So my other mate hooked us up. So he was like, as soon as I contacted him, he's like, let's catch up. So I was like, cool. So I finished lunch and then we caught up. And caught up at 4 p.m. in a brewery. And I just thought we were just going to have a few beers and that was it, right? Yeah. We drank until 7 a.m.
Good effort.
We started a brewery.
Good effort.
Then we got a pack of cigarettes. Then we went past the temple. Then we went to a Mexican restaurant. Then we went to a very high grade bar. Then we went to the lowest grade bar in town. It was absolutely filthy, man. It's the size of this room. It was disgusting, but it's great vibes. And then around this time we said, let's see if we can make it to 10 bars. Let's see if we can go to 10 venues this night. So we went to karaoke, we went to a snack bar, we went to an izakaya, we went to a host, we went to shop bars. Dude, we went to everything. And about 6 or 7 bars in was an izakaya, right?
Yeah.
You know what an izakaya is, right?
With the cheese.
It's no. That's a hostess bar or stuff. Yeah. So izakaya is just a Japanese, like it's a restaurant, but you also get alcohol. Right. So this was like kind of like a respite. This was like a interlude. This was a quiet, nice. It was a nice place, serene moment. Walked in. There's a big entry hall where you take your shoes off. Then there's a tatami room, so a tatami mat, and you enter the tatami. And you go up to the counter, and the master's very polite and friendly, and it's quiet. We ordered the food, and the food was nice, and he was an honest man, and very good. And then halfway through the meal, me and my friend are drunk by this stage. We've been to 6 venues and whatever, and we're drunk, but we're polite. And then so this guy comes in, this Japanese guy comes in, and he's a salary man, an ordinary man. He takes his shoes off and he walks to the bar, and instantly there's this terrible smell from his shoes.
Oh, shoe guy.
So he takes his shoes, it's pongs, man. So I yell out in my drunk state, kusai, which means stinky. And I say in my broken Japanese, I say, put your shoes outside. So he's like extremely apologetic and he grabs his shoes and puts them outside, right? And instantly the air changed, literally and figuratively, because the air became clear.
Yeah.
And also everything in the izakaya relaxed, because this guy was clearly a regular. And he had stinky feet, and because they're Japanese, they couldn't say anything. The master of the bar couldn't say anything. So I had used 20 years ago. I used my
drunken white privilege
for evil, and now I was using it for good. So I lifted the curse.
That works, yeah. Good. Yin yang,
lifted the curse, man. Lifted the curse.
That's a pretty, it's a good way of getting out of it. Yeah, I believe that. And the energy's been good since then.
Well, you know.
The vibe is, yeah.
Well, then we continued on. We went to the other bars, and we'd pick up a person in one place, and then we'd bring them to the next place, and then we'd leave them there, and then we'd meet another person and bring them to the next place. And then we ended up at 7 a.m. after drinking for 15 hours in a shot bar. This basically, we'd been to a snack bar, which is like, it's $50 for a drink, and the women talk to you and they light your cigarettes and pour your drinks or whatever. And they took us around to other places in the area because obviously they realized that we were spending money.
Yeah, and you're drunk.
We were drunk. And so they took us to all their friends' place so we'd spend money there. And we ended up, dude, in a bar with a woman wearing an eye patch. And I was like, I've got to go home. And so I went home, and my friend left and lost his wallet, and ended up sleeping on a couch in a hotel somewhere in Nara.
Oh shit! I snorted. Oh my god. Yes,
but
drunken madness.
The curse was lifted.
Yes, the curse is.
That was the important thing. That was the important thing.
I've drunk mine.
That was the important thing. So.
No, well done, man. Like, karma. It's all about karma. I kind of do believe a lot in karma. I'm a firm believer in be good to people and you'll be good back. But then there are moments of madness where you just don't give a fuck and you have a lot of good times. But I do like the fact that stinky man, you saved that.
So now I think about that guy. He was clearly a regular. He took his shoes off and he had like an eagerness to get to the bar that only a local would have.
Yeah.
Right. And this was a very local area. This is very close to actually where I lived there. Yeah. Which was just
locals only.
Locals only. Yeah.
No tourists.
No. So I hope and believe that I saved the stench that place from the stench.
There's many a relieved nostril and nose in that now bar, thanks to you. Purely thanks to you.
So the emperor can finally rest easy from the trespass. I don't know what the Polish guy and the French guy have done to lift their curses, but we'll see.
Look, yeah.
On that night, interestingly, I saw one of the funniest things I've ever seen. We went to this bar, which actually was run by assholes, which is very rare in Japan. But the guys running it were pricks. And we went to the bar and we were like obliterated. Yeah. And we asked the French guy, he asked for water. And they said, well, it's, 200 yen for water or 300. He said, no, I just want some tap water. And they said, no, I'm going to charge you for the water. It's like, fuck that, I'm not paying for the water.
Yeah.
So then a minute or two later, we lit up cigarettes and they gave us ashtrays, and the French guy grabbed the ashtray and he goes, can I have some water? Which doesn't really make sense in retrospect, but it was very funny at the time.
Did they give you water in it?
No, unfortunately not, yeah.
Japanese.
So how did you lift your curse, man? Or your curse just evaporated?
No, I think it just evaporated at the time. It was just weird. I felt like someone was just, I think I was just, being watched a bit. It was weird. But I don't think I've had a curse, really. Not cursed.
Well, lucky you.
I had, I'm just trying to think. I've done stupid shit, but I haven't done anything in a grave, really. I haven't done anything bad.
Well, dude, I think I told you about the dude I met in Tokyo who met a Japanese girl at a nightclub, and adjacent to the nightclub there was a graveyard, and he took the woman out and
In the grave?
engaged in coitus with her on a tombstone, a Japanese tombstone, and then later on discovered that 2 other guys had done the same thing with the girl that night. This is the kind of thing that goes on in Tokyo.
Oh, dude, I've seen
Yeah.
the Instagram.
I would never be able to lift that curse. That's, you know.
Yeah, I've seen the Instagram clip of, like, guys, like, American black guy walking around, and the girl just comes up and goes, drags him off. He's like, what the fuck? He's like, she's like, you come home with me now. And he's like, what? And it's like,
Yeah, is that? I wonder if that's real. Yeah, yeah.
I can see that happening sometimes.
Yeah, Tokyo is the only place I've ever been where I've felt the sexual energy.
Yeah.
So I'm not very perceptive to that kind of thing, but Tokyo, I can feel it. Yeah.
Tokyo's unique. I like Tokyo. Let's get back. Let's go to snow there as well.
People like Amy, she tells me I should go to a psychologist, right, to deal with my issues, right? But I like to find a practical solution to issues, right? So like, you know, I like if you're catastrophizing, right? You know, if you're like always imagining the worst case scenario, you know, imagining things that are all going to go to hell or whatever.
Yeah.
Then what I like to do is I like to find a practical solution. So when I was catastrophizing, what I did is I moved to Japan, where it's logical to catastrophize because they could have the big earthquake at any moment.
Yes, true.
So you're like, it's perfectly logical to be on edge.
On edge in catastrophe.
Yeah, you don't need to speak to a psychologist. Just go where there's catastrophe around the corner, you know. They're expecting the big one at any moment, you know.
It just legitimizes.
Yeah, it legitimizes, exactly. Just go where you're fucking like meant to be.
Hey, but you mentioned something too about you just went with the flow before. What was that regarding? You went with the flow. And I just wanted to mention something on the fact that there's a guy I'm following, and also I just noticed sometimes when you just go with the flow, right? Especially when you're traveling, like just be open to anything.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
It leads to the best adventures.
Yeah.
Like,
That's a good thing about traveling. Spontaneous.
yeah, and
You'll relearn how to be spontaneous, like a kid.
yeah,
You know.
And I remember that too. Like when I was younger, when you travel, just being spontaneous, and just going fuck it. We'll just go.
Like being in your 20s or being young or whatever. Yeah.
And now you get older and you worry about financial shit, but you don't have to worry about that shit. You can still live that spontaneity. Remember the spontaneity, how good it felt to just be dragged into something.
Well, the downside of spontaneity is you can end up in a kofun, in an ancient burial ground.